The importance of grounding is so dismissed. Yes, you'll hear about it here and there, and you may try it here and there, but the importance of it is so much bigger than what most will tell you or what you hear out there. Because it's your consciousness coming back into your body and living your actual life. You will be in the moment. You will be present. There's so much talk about being in the moment, being present, but it starts with grounding your consciousness back into your body. Now, a lot of times it's okay, well, why aren't you? Why aren't you doing this? And I had a hard time grounding myself. Even when I'd go through healings, all of that, I wouldn't want to come back down because being up here felt so, it felt so light and pleasant and all of that. I didn't want to come back down because when you come back down into your body, it can get very uncomfortable because you sense everything, you feel everything, you're aware of everything. Now, until you start clearing some of that stuff out, you're going to have a harder time grounding back in because you're going to feel all, lighter up there. It's like a similar to spiritual bypassing where people just want to meditate all day, but they actually don't want to live their lives. That's spiritual bypass. We're here to have a human experience. Yes, meditating, bringing in, doing different things and still being in your body to live your human experience. Your desires, those things that you want to manifest, they're all living up here if you're not in your body. In order to bring those back down to reality, bring them back to into oh, lost for words right now, to really ground it into your current reality, you need to be grounded in your current reality. You need to be in your body. And then from that space, you take inspired action to bring in that which what you desire. Now, what you will bump up against is limiting beliefs, anxiousness, your nervous system activating when you start to go beyond what's usual for you. When you're grounded, you sit with those feelings, you sit with all that energy, and you allow it to release. So, this is what you want to bring into your life. You want to ground it in. This is where you're at. Now, in order to bring this grounded into here, you need to, you take the actions, you take the steps, it brings it closer and closer. And when you come across something that's uncomfortable, that activates your nervous system, that activates your ego, because you're going to have that, you're going to bump up across like that. I'm not good enough. Can I really do this? Some of mine have been fears of success that came later on after I cleared up some layers and I discovered that one. So a variety of things are going to come up, but they're coming up for you to clear them. That is all. It's not sabotage. You're not self sabotaging yourself. Enough with that shame. The ego is just trying to keep you safe. Can it look like sabotage? I understand why people call it that, but all it is your ego's trying to keep you safe because this is new and it's more of an expansive feeling. The energy is more expansive. A lot of it comes down to the feeling of holding this. Now, when you imagine it, ooh, yeah, that sounds great. It feels great when I imagine it, all that. But when you bring it down into reality, into it, a whole other ball game when you ground it. Okay. So the more you stay grounded and you clear it, when you stay grounded, it allows you that time and that clarity to see what's coming up in order to clear, in order to bring it into your body. You need to live your life. You need to live your human experience in your body and not always running away. Because when you're running away, you're not actually living your life. You're just stuck in your head. You're in an imaginary world that doesn't even exist instead of being in the here and the now. And if you love that imaginary world that you're going into, bring it down. You can actually live it instead of running away from it. Not grounding is a way of running away. So some techniques I'd like to use is, of course, um, taking, imagining a cord at the base of my spine and going down. Lately, I've actually been anchoring it in my heart and then going down. So I'll do the one and then the other and going all the way down. There's patting yourself all over to bring yourself back into your body. There's being present by looking in the room, like stopping for a moment and just looking around in the room. I also like breathing into the heart. So taking a deep breath in and bringing your consciousness back into your heart so you can come back into your body. I also tap because at least when I'm not in that space, I'll tap because of the fear of not being grounded, like not coming into the space of my body. So I'll do some tapping. Those are my favorites. If you want to go deeper, I do have a mini class that really just goes through all the techniques and tapping on grounding and getting rooted in your heart. The two most important things is coming into your heart and getting grounded for your life. I'll include the link below. Let me know, what are your favorite grounding techniques? What works for you the most?